Yuman Zhu from China. From Colombia, Daniel Pacheco. From Luxembourg, Dario Maximovic. And then Yuri Minovic, Giorgio Laurenti Baragu from Romania, and Matteo Alfonsi from Italy. A few new names in this race, Elisa. It'll be interesting to see how this race plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, some of the countries, they're mainstays in the sport of canoeing. And so you'd imagine, no matter who they line up, they'll be having a very good showing, particularly when you get to the World Cup level. Canada has a strong history in canoeing. They always show up and always are near the pointy end, as are the Czechs, quite obviously. Romania, Italy has a really strong team. The Chinese are always there or close enough really to be near the medals. So I'm sure there's some really good crops of athletes coming through.
Yeah, excited to see how our paddler from Luxembourg goes. We don't have a lot of athletes from Luxembourg, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes in lane number 5. But we're underway, and let's have a look across the field. Good start, pretty even start, although yes, our paddler from Luxembourg has dropped off a little bit already. It looks like closest to the camera it may be the Italian Alfonsi, and up at the top of the screen the Chinese paddler Zhu. So you can see on the, for those new to the sport, you can see in the background the people on their bikes going along. Now these aren't spectators, at least these are actually coaches, aren't they? Now what are they, just to explain for people watching at home, what is their job? What are they doing out there?
I guess, when they're on the sidelines, they're there to watch, obviously, the races. They want the front row seats. They want to make sure they're getting a bit of camera time as well. But their main role, obviously, is to pick apart your race and to be able to come back and really analyze it with you after looking into the semis and the finals. I think, according to the rules, they're not allowed to coach from the sidelines. They're only allowed to cheer. So when you hear the cheering, that's just them saying, go, 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 or go faster or whatever. But they're not allowed to give any technical advice. But basically, they're just there to make sure they're not missing anything through the races. Because obviously, we've got the footage here on the screen, but sometimes as an athlete, you're not on the screen the whole time. So a few coaches might also have some filming equipment out and just filming their athletes. And I'll tell you what, the peloton is a bit of a dangerous place to be sometimes. I've seen a few pretty gnarly crashes in the peloton. I've been involved in a few as well because no one's watching in front of them. They're all watching beside them at the race. So not my favorite place to be.
And I can imagine cycling is not their first skill. Okay, let's have a look. I think it is going to be Minovic from Czechia who's crossing the line first ahead of the Italian Alfonsi, and then pretty close at the top of the screen for third between Beauvoir from Canada and Zhao from China. So Yuri Minovic, he'd be eyeing off a contest, I guess, against Martin Fuchser. If Martin Fuchser, I don't think he's on the start list for this week. I'm assuming he's going to go around again. I mean, he's got an Olympic gold medal now to his name, so he loves paddling. I don't see him on the start list for this week, though, so maybe just taking a week or maybe even a year off. So Yuri Minovic would love to have a crack at trying to get to Los Angeles, but it's a pretty big hurdle to overcome, Martin Fuchser. But nice convincing start there for Minovic. Crosses first, with Alfonsi from Italy crossing in second place.